Good evening, everybody. You're coming live from the Robinson household. I have a special co-host this week, Michael Robinson. My name is David Robinson, and we're going to do a Clubhouse Weekly week 2. I'm going to recap week 3. We're going to recap week 2. All right. We're going to look at the 2-0s, the 1-1s, the 0-2s, who's in trouble, who might be already worried about making the playoff. Because if you start off 0-2, Mike, I mean, you're in trouble. I want to take a quick time out, though. Give a shout out to my normal co-host, Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, I'll be glad to hear your opinion next week, sir.
Yeah,
just filling it.
Anthony's got a long week. He's got a long week ahead of him. He's got a wedding to attend to last night, and frankly, I just thought to myself tonight is a perfect opportunity for you to get in on the game.
Let's hear from. This is my first time doing fantasy football, so we might get to relate a little bit on this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, sometimes it's good to just get a refresh. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it's like to get your first win this last week.
That was nice.
We're going to obviously recap all the matchups, but I didn't want a week to go by where this broadcast didn't happen. We did last 2 seasons we've done this broadcast. We didn't miss a week. Anthony's got a big week ahead of him. He's got something going on tomorrow night, and I just knew in the back of my head that unless we did it tonight, it wasn't going to happen.
So I think it's a good decision, Dave. I'll roll with your decision.
All right, so what do you say? We just recap week 2 real quick?
Let's go ahead and do it.
All right, we'll start at the top. Shock and awe goes against the Breeze Nice. And like Anthony and I discussed last week, I thought this was the matchup of the week. It was the closest matchup as far as projected points went. The two teams were just so similarly constructed, in which both teams very strong at wide receiver, a little weak at running back. And I think Yahoo has projected like at the beginning of the week at they were within 2-3 points of each other. And
no, it was 9 points, but yeah.
But Jamie
the Breeze Nice had 9-point advantage.
Jamie's team is always Jamie's a player. I mean, she's somebody that she's not a rookie.
She's made moves.
She's not a rookie of fantasy football. She's willing to make moves.
She's made moves.
She knows what she's talking about, and we always shout out to Jamie's team. But quick, we got to talk about my philosophy about your first round draft pick. High floor, always going to put up big points.
This is something that he's actually drilled into my brain over the last few weeks to try to get me into this, try to get me to think about it. It actually makes a lot of sense, guys. High ceiling, low floor.
High floor.
Excuse me.
High floor.
But I knew what I was saying.
High floor. But Michael Thomas, again, this week goes off for 25 big fantasy points. Michael Thomas sets an NFL record for the first 2 weeks of the season, having 28 receptions. Never been done in NFL history. Michael Thomas, young player, Saints offense moves the ball. Drew Brees loves to throw him the ball. Going through Jamie, and this is what Jamie struggles this week, but this is a team I like because she struggles this week and still puts up 106 points. So I still have to beat her. It's not like I can just throw out 100 points and win. She still puts up a number, and I still have to beat her. I get production out of my wide receiving core, like I was talking about. AJ Green goes off for 3 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football, against the Ravens. And then just up and down, T.Y. Hilton. I mean, think about the 3 receivers I'm starting, Mike. I'm starting AJ Green, I'm starting Michael Thomas, and T.Y. Hilton. I mean, probably 3 of the top 10 receivers in the NFL.
That's a good-looking squad.
And then we look over at Jamie's lineup. I mean, we love Drew Brees, but you get the opportunity to watch the whole game. But I watched plenty of it, and that game, it didn't have the same feel as week 1 when the Saints were just moving the ball at will.
Lobbing it.
Yeah, moving the ball at will. That Cleveland defense, actually, folks, is something we're going to have to watch. Because, again, this past Thursday night, they pick off Sam Darnold of the Jets a couple times and get themselves back in that game. And all of a sudden, Cleveland Browns have won a football game.
The Cleveland Browns have won a football game.
So I take the game 125-106.
It should have been closer.
I'm not all that worried about Jamie's lineup. I think she just underperformed in a lot of spots, and
you had some big performances.
Yeah, and I had some over performances, and that's just something that you're going to deal with on a week-to-week basis. But like I said, my philosophy has always been is that you want to find yourself putting up that 110 to 115 point range, every single week. Moving on to the next matchup, we've got auto draft for the win versus my usual co-host Anthony Johnson. Auto draft for the win. I think as we talked about on BFD last week. Really,
cheers, mate.
It's not a must win for him last week because 0-2 doesn't put you in this terrible hole where you're never going to get out of it. I think we We have 6 teams make the playoffs, so really you just have to beat out 4 other teams.
I can agree with that. I can think of many examples
But I thought,
in football history where
Right.
0-2 did not mean nothing. I
Yeah.
don't know. Are we allowed to swear?
Not very much.
Okay.
But I thought that if Derek gets a win this week, he goes to 1-1, like you did. Like you're not all of a sudden just worried about, oh my gosh, am I just going to be the worst team in the league?
I was happy that I got to win. I'll tell you that much. As a
But-
rookie, guys,
But I mean, Derek's been dealing with the injury bug. Jay Ajayi goes out again this week, back problems. He's not going to play in week 3. He gets underperformances from Odell Beckham Jr. and Julio Jones, which I mean, you got to know that was his first 2 draft picks, round 1, round 2, Julio, Odell, and they both just go single-digit fantasy points.
the S word of the bucket.
My Anthony ridiculousness. He gets his performances. We talked about this last week on Weekly as well. Cam Newton, 29 big fantasy points for him. And one thing that we like about the running quarterback is that he just adds on that
That's true.
extra 5-6 points.
The-
Cam
the-
Newton goes
the
off.
possibility of running touchdowns.
And this is somebody for him, and Anthony will love this because he's always waiting for this line. He's going to start him week in, week out. Because Cam Newton, no matter what, even if the Panthers don't win the game, he's probably going to put up decent fantasy numbers.
Okay.
He's going to score, 15 points through the air, and then he's going to get you 6-7 points just running the football.
I mean, the truth of the matter, folks, is I'm learning as I'm sitting here on this screen.
He does we talk about it on here. We talk about it all the time. I mean, players have to be out on waiver wire because Anthony picks up a tight end on waivers and starts him last week, and he puts up 10 points.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping.
A lot of people don't even know who Austin Safari and Jenkins is. Okay? Now I know who he is. He's a starting tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he puts up 10 points for him. So he makes a replacement that puts up points for him. And that's
beautiful. I mean, that's working.
And it doesn't take much. You got to go through your phone. You might have to look at some highlights. You got to look at some stats, but this is something you want to do.
He's got one of the most points as a manager. If you look at the manager points, you can respect ridiculousness for making some moves.
Absolutely. He makes a ton of moves. Somebody that struggled with his first 2 draft picks, this is our player that actually drafted Le'Veon Bell, who apparently Le'Veon Bell is much more concerned with having rap music release parties.
Oh, he's rapping now.
And
is that what's going on?
And playing on jet skis.
Are you kidding me?
Than playing professional football.
Oh, so terrible. Hey guys, you can make a rap career anytime. You can only be good enough to play football throughout the fucking little part of your life. Yeah. Like, come on.
It's just right there. I mean, think about it now. I mean, Anthony's really going to have to make a decision here in the next couple of weeks. Like, is this guy really just not going to come back? Because, I mean, when I see him out on a jet ski.
That's so true.
And when I see him in Miami.
Hanging out with the rapper guys.
When the Steelers are playing.
Those guys party hard,
He doesn't look like somebody who's really that concerned with playing football this season. Yeah. So Anthony's going to be wasting perhaps a spot on his bench. And at what point, what's the tilting point? Because, I mean, really, we've only played 13, 14 weeks of fantasy football. Now, what all prognosticators will say is that Le'Veon might come back in week 11. Because when he comes back in week 11, it'll still count that he has played a full season.
Okay.
He will still get a $5 million paycheck, not a $14 million paycheck that he could get right now. And still be fully eligible for free agency next season.
So is this guy so insane that he actually believes in his rap career so much that he actually thinks that, screw that $7 million?
I don't think so. I think that he's playing the thing where...
So we're dealing with this guy's mind right now.
Well, we're dealing with a thing where he doesn't think that him taking a season off is going to reduce his paycheck enough for the next 3 seasons.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, that the $9 million that he's going to miss out on this year will be made up in free agency next year. And also, outside of the 5 games that he might play or he might not play, when he reports to camp, whenever this is what I think. This is an official prediction for me. That
on record, whatever. What's the date?
September 21st. That Le'Veon Bell will not play until week 11. And he might not even play then because the Steelers might be so mad, but he will report on week 11. So, Anthony, you've got a decision to make. I don't envy it whatsoever.
Right, let's go next.
But yeah, we'll move on to the next issue. Anthony ends up with a...
auto draft. Auto draft, you're just still being auto draft. So, we'll see how it works out for you.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I mean,
he's got some good players.
He gets Carson Wentz coming back this week. He'll help him up a couple points. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't see this as a
Maybe you really think Carson Wentz is going to come back strong? Because I don't necessarily see that.
sure, but I think that there might be a week or two of rust. But he's been in camp. He's been with the team. This is not going to be a thing where
I mean, how many? All right, so here's my inexperience, and this will help you guys maybe. All right, so I know Carson Wentz was a big-time player.
Yeah.
I know he's a big-time player for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what I know.
almost MVP last year if he doesn't get
All right.
Yeah.
Where was he really in his career? Second year, third year? I don't know that.
He's rookie last year.
So, okay, so we're talking about a young guy.
Yeah.
I think a young guy might take some time to come back. Personally, I don't really know, but
Well, I'll disagree on that to a certain extent. That I think it will take a couple weeks for a little bit of the rust to kick off, but I think he owns that locker room.
oh, okay.
I think his
If
teammates.
he owns that locker room, that's the
This
thing.
is not a Ryan Fitzpatrick situation in Tampa Bay, because Ryan Fitzpatrick, folks, is the
That's
number
something
one
I actually know about.
number one quarterback in fantasy football right now, and he's probably not owned in most leagues because everybody discusses.
But he's not the cheerleader of the camp.
He's not the dude.
Yeah.
Like he's
When
not.
Tom Brady walks in,
Yeah,
and he
he's
goes,
not-
everybody listen up.
He's not.
Everybody goes,
It's not even. It doesn't even have to be Brady. That's an extreme example. But he's not even Matt Stafford.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, this is the guy. Everybody knows that Carson Wentz is the guy. I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year without Carson Wentz, and everybody still knew
Carson Wentz come back.
Carson Wentz is the guy.
It was crazy to me because I went to Dave and I even said, like, they won when Nick Foles, like, you know.
We're gonna move on to our third matchup
Yeah.
last week. We got Lick My Tape. That's Alex's team. Alex, Grand Rapids treating you well. Hope so. Versus,
Yeah, me too, man. You were a smart kid. I didn't know that until I met you at the fantasy draft.
Oh man, come on. Alex smart dude.
Smart dude.
Definitely knows.
Real smart.
Definitely knows
His football.
knows his football, and definitely gonna be one of the contenders to win the whole thing.
Oh, definitely.
He
In my predictions, it'd be Dave, Alex, and Ridiculousness. Hopefully I sneak in. And hopefully some of you guys do. Oh, you know, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Alex puts up the big 145 burger. Okay. Puts up 145 points.
Beats me.
Yeah, clips you for high points through the week.
Clips me.
But, I mean, I'm just going to regurgitate what I said last week. He's got Phillip Rivers, which I think was just the biggest value of the draft and always is on a year in and year out basis. He has Gurley. The LA Rams look practically unstoppable right now.
I'm looking it over.
Gurley!
Wow, all right, Gurley went off.
Yeah, I mean, he just has a solid lineup from top to bottom. And then, folks, like, seriously, like, he was dealing with the injury bug last week. Like, probably his first or second round draft pick did not play. Devontae Freeman out a few weeks. You know, so I mean, he just has. And then, look at this is a guy that Matt Breida, running back, San Francisco 49ers, puts up a 24-point spot, and he's on his bench.
Oh,
And this is somebody he picked up just by evaluating what went on in week one. You know, when everybody else is just sitting around going, oh, why did I lose last week?
Wow, yeah, he did. You're right.
Why did I lose last week? Or, oh, great, I won. He goes, how am I going to win next week? Looking over it, I mean, I don't like going over Tim's team that much. I didn't like the way he
I don't want to beat up
drafted.
Tim here.
There's
But we got to.
there's a lot of trends that his draft that
I'm going up against Tim next week.
that I didn't like, you know, and you know, New England goes down to Jacksonville and just really, I mean, they get it handed to them. I mean, we might be seeing the changing of the guard. I mean, we're one thing I do want to talk about for 1 minute. Do you think the Patriots are actually done? Because
Not sure yet.
not sure is, but I mean, if you watched the game last week, and if you were from outer space, and all,
But I'm pretty sure they struggled in the beginning of last season, too. So,
but are we going to flip the switch back on? I mean, what do we really have there?
I actually think the Josh Gordon pickup is amazing.
Okay, I can go with that.
I think that he's going to be the new Randy Moss for the Patriots. I think he's going to, he was the big man in his locker room in some little team. But now he's going to, I'm not going to change anything around here. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to go run my routes and try to be the best guy I can be for the greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay, sure.
For the GOAT.
Sure. That's a lot of the blabber that's going on right now. Is that
Of course it is.
you know, the Patriot way, right?
The Patriot way. Bill Belichick is actually king.
But is Josh, or is he going to just stop smoking weed?
That's true. He could just get caught smoking weed again.
Is he going to, like, really, like, there's got to be a problem with him systemically that the Browns have been with him for 6 years. And
We'll see.
They traded him away for a 5th-round draft pick.
Now I can see your suspicions.
So I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
Okay.
Dave's
going with it. Don't buy it. I'm going buy Patriot. Buy Patriot stock. He's going sell it.
I'm not selling the Patriots yet, but I am selling Josh Gordon. Selling Josh Gordon. If you have Josh Gordon and
Josh Gordon's not.
And here's another thing. You go. This is a little bit deeper metagame thinking about fantasy football. If I own Josh Gordon right now, and I think Jack does, Jordan's boyfriend, if he goes off for 25 fantasy points next week, on Monday I am trying to make trades as hard as possible for Josh Gordon because I think it's lightning in a bottle. I think he might play nice for a few weeks.
And then he turns into something else.
Yeah, that's how I see it. I don't see it.
Just like what happened with Randy fucking Moss.
All right, let's just look. I'm going to take a quick look at Tim's bench. Ironically enough, we talk about those.
Me and Tim going up.
We talk about them Dallas Cowboys and things like that. He does pick up Dan Bailey, who got cut from the Cowboys, who he dropped.
Tim's starting to play. I like that. I like that, Tim.
Yeah, but if your biggest waiver wire pickup is a kicker, you're not really playing that hard. Not really playing that hard. So,
next lineup.
Alex wins in the biggest blow up of the week. Not a big surprise, as predicted last week on Weekly. Alex is going to win, Tim's going to lose, and I think that's pretty much how we're going to predict every week with the blackest.
We're going to go back to Long Dong Silver versus 4th and 20. We'll finish with my game.
Yeah, well, again, this is another team in trouble. This is Long Dong Silver in trouble. He gets production out of the one thing I said on Weekly last time is that I thought that if Steve could get production out of Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, Houston Texans, if he
I know those players,
but I thought that he had to get those guys to perform in the 50 to 60 point range combined, and he gets a nice production out of them. He gets 23 out of Deshaun, 20 out of DeAndre Hopkins, but it's only 43. And if he would have gotten that 50 to 60 range, it would have been a very competitive game. He doesn't. 4th and 20, Jack's team, who owns Patrick Mahomes, which I will still say praise on you, Jack, for drafting him.
Yeah, Jack, good job, man.
I was not a believer in Patrick Mahomes.
Neither was I.
I've watched 2 of his games.
The guy looks amazing.
He's legit. We're talking about immediately a top 7 quarterback in the league, and maybe by the end of the year we're talking MVP. I mean, right now the guy has 10 touchdown passes through 2 games.
Facts.
Steve, you just gotta get out there. You gotta find something. I mean, Steve does make a trade with me this week. He's probably gonna go through here in a couple days to try and improve his running back situation. I give away Lamar Miller, which I'm not all that happy about, but I improve my team with getting Kyle Rudolph in the back. The weakest point of my team is tight end, so I improve.
Okay, here's a rookie note to add into what he's about to say. I think that's the key, at least from my rookie ass thinking, is that I just want to improve my team. Go ahead.
Well, you can look at it on the surface and just say, okay.
Even if I'm improving somebody else's, I don't care.
Exactly.
My team.
Well, no, but I'm improving his team as well. Because I look at it like this.
Yeah, you got to make a trade that's reasonable.
Yeah, I look at it like this. Like, okay, so on the surface, it says, okay, the tight end Kyle Rudolph that I'm trading for is only going to score 9 points a week. But the tight end that I own right now only scores 6 points a week. So I'm plus 3 every week. Now I'm trading away Lamar Miller.
I'm not that short.
I'm trading away Lamar Miller, who I'm probably going to lose 1.5 points a week.
Okay.
So I'm plus 1.5. But the other way around, it works for him too. He's going to be up 3 points, 4 points at the running back position. He's probably going to drop 2 points at the tight end position, so he's plus 2. We make a trade, it all meshes.
It does.
And then all of a sudden, we're both happy. We both have better squads, and that's what you got to look for. You can't just throw up these. I want to trade rape somebody. I want to trade you, Julio Jones for Tyler Lockett. Everybody's gonna be like, no, you're stupid. You look like an idiot.
This is the weekly for Clubhouse, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
so my worry immediately when I saw the trade was that Dave somehow manipulated Steve. And I studied a bit.
I don't have that.
And I saw it was a fair trade.
I don't have that magic juju like this guy's got.
Oh, you talking about Floyd?
Yeah, that guy.
We'll get into that when it's my turn.
That's when we close out.
Yeah.
Close with that. 4th and 20. Mahomes comes up for 40. I mean, I think that's pretty much
sick.
all we've got to say. The rest of his team kind of underperforms, which is funny because Kamara only gets 15. Kamara's going to score 20 points.
Davis, right?
4th and 20. Yeah, no, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
New Orleans,
Alvin Kamara.
New Orleans running back. He's going to be like, told you,
a little bit of a rook. I'm getting it.
I mean, he's already like the most targeted running back in the league as far as receptions go. They're even giving him the ball in like short yardage situations, which is ridiculous. Which, when Mark Ingram comes back, some of that might go away. So, I mean, one thing that he could think about doing is, I mean, he could think about trading Kamara when he's at his highest right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, Jack's team comes away with a runaway victory. And then real quick, Michael, we'll go to the last matchup, and a matchup I was wrong about on Weekly last week. Anthony, my co-host, was correct about. You pull off the upset.
I mean, I just, everybody scored big, though. I mean, you score 140 points. You got lucky.
Sure, you get lucky, but
I got a good squad. My squad ain't shit.
Oh, no, let's go through it, though. I mean, we've got to feel really good about that running back combination of Melvin Gordon for the Chargers and Saquon Barkley for the Giants. I mean,
all I focused on was getting running back.
I mean, because Barkley, the one thing I think I would have worried about is that, you know, when the Giants get down in games, because they're not a good team. And the Giants they're not that good. We're looking at, you know.
I mean, just a dead Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Let's admit it.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. His offensive line is dead.
But dead Eli Manning.
But the one thing I like about Barkley is that even when they're down in games, they still manage to find a way to get the ball to your running back.
Okay. So they're playing a legit game strategy either way.
Well, Barkley's the kind of guy that's going to catch balls on the backfield. He's going to get those.
He got me 6 receptions last week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where you're making your hay right there. You know, I like your tight end, Trey Burton. He doesn't go off big last week, but if you watch that Monday Night Football game, I mean,
I watched it, but I was buzzed.
They're getting him involved in the offense. Stout defense, you know, you get your 10 points of the Chargers, but they played the Bills, so, I mean, look,
I would really like
whoever is playing the Bills.
Dumpster fire. Try to get your fucking... I'll put Carr in over Brady.
If he's playing the Bills.
If he's playing the Bills.
Play against the Bills. That seems like a really good strategy.
I mean, hey, we're giving advice. That's what this whole thing's about, right?
I mean, if you're playing against the Buffalo Bill, I don't care what the computer says.
I don't care about the $40, by the way. We just want to help everybody get into it. I'm almost into it now.
Play against the Bills is a great... You know, and then on your bench, you're kind of building a little bit of depth. You know, you've got Kenny Galladay, who is emerging as the deep threat for the Lions.
That was Alex. Thank you, Alex, by the way. I had no idea who the guy was. He's like, you got to pick this guy up.
Well, and then also this week in fantasy, you pick up Sammy Watkins and waivers.
Yep. Yeah, I could have went with one other guy, but I picked Sammy Watkins. To be honest, I like the name.
You know, and then honestly, if Alshon Jeffrey actually does come back, which I mean, I'm kind of skeptical about. I mean, I think he'll come back, but I just don't know if he'll have.
I haven't released him from my team.
Yeah, I've said it before though. Alshon's the kind of guy that when he's healthy and he feels good, he plays like Odell and Julio and like all the
like Herman Moore.
Yeah, and he plays like
plays top dog type of guy.
No, he plays like that role. Like I'm gonna get the touchdowns. I'm a big guy in the end zone kind of thing. Yeah, but.
Want to catch one of these?
I've seen some injury-plagued seasons like this where he just doesn't do that, and that's the one thing where Big Baba Ganoush, he just kind of falls short. I like his team.
His team's great.
Yeah, I like.
You go up against him next week, I think.
Yeah, I do. He falls short. You know, I mean, Dalvin Cook out. That's gonna suck.
But no. All right, so let's actually focus on this real quick. He gets 38.98 points out of Ben Roethlisberger. 31.40 out of Diggs.
Yeah, well,
he still loses.
Yeah, he gets a couple of big...
he gets nobody.
Yeah, he gets a couple of big performances.
Sorry, guys.
Gets a couple of big performances, but then everybody else just falls woefully short. And then Dalvin Cook, injured, going to be out next week.
Oh, my guy's played awesome.
You know, so, I mean... But
my kicker scored 14 points.
He's got some other depth. I mean, it's that thing. This is a guy, I don't know, you know, it's a double-edged sword when you have good depth because you actually have to make decisions. You know, like when you have guys like he has Evan Ingram and he has Jordan Reed, right? I mean, 2 of the top 5 tight ends in the league, 2 of the top 6 for sure. He's got to make that decision every week. They can win or lose in the game on a week-in and week-out basis.
Okay, yeah. No, now you can speak. All right, so you're speaking to the novice, right?
Yeah.
I go to myself. I go, this guy's got good projections. This guy's got good projections. Right?
Yeah.
But then now we're dealing with matchups, I think, sometimes.
No, you got to see who your guys playing.
When you're D.
Well, it's even
all of us are D.
Yeah, but it could be something as simple as, like, is my guy at home or is he away? I mean, think about how. I mean,
that's true.
In the NFL, I think the NFL and the NBA are like the only two leagues of the Big Four where home court or home field advantage is a significant advantage.
I mean,
if you do
numbers,
if you talk to a Las Vegas bookie, it's a 6-point swing.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Oh, in NFL football.
No, I mean,
like if
anybody seen Gladiator? The whole point of Gladiator was the crowd matters.
Never saw Gladiator. But
hey, I'm just sorry. I bet you a lot of people have.
I'm that guy. But I mean, honestly, if the Lions were at home against the Patriots this week and they were only a 3-point underdog, but they played the Patriots on the road the week after that, they'd be a 10-point underdog.
8.5. But all right,
so you said. All right, so that's last week. And then we go through the standings. I mean, we've got 3 teams at 2-0, 3 teams at 0-2.
Standings.
And then we've got everybody else in the middle at 1-1. Still really early in the season. Everybody's still involved, so everybody still has a chance. But, I mean, we got 6 teams to make the playoffs. I mean, I'm thinking by the end of the year, you get to week 13, you really got to be at 6 and 7. We're going to have a lot of tiebreakers that come into play. Our overall tiebreaker to make the playoffs, miss the playoffs, if you're 6 and 7, you're in 7th place. And the guy at 6 and 7 is in 6th place. It's because he got more points overall. So you got to score points every week. You got to play hard. You got to go out in waiver lane and pick people up.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Try is what it is.
What do you say? We go take a look at this week. Make some picks.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Do the picks.
We'll try at least. We'll start off at the bottom. 4th and 20 versus the Breeze Knees.
Oh, all the way at the bottom is you. This matchup, here we go.
For me.
Here we go. This is where I disagree with the computer. And they have Tim's team, Blackest Red Dragon, putting up 113 points. Which, how can that projection be correct when he hasn't put up 100 points yet this year?
He put up 108, right?
No, I'm not. I don't. He hasn't put up 113 yet, has he?
No.
I mean, so you're telling me that Matt Stafford's going to put up 20.
Believable.
I guess. I mean, I just think that the key for Tim this week is he's really going to have to hit projections on all marks.
No, he needs Ezekiel Elliott to go off against Seattle.
Yeah.
I picked that earlier tonight, remember?
Yeah. I think he does. I think that Mike Evans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to have to continue their magical run early in the season. I think the Cinderella story of the NFL right now is not the Cleveland Browns, who are 1-0-1. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's Tampa Bay.
I don't want to get into the whole social experiment, but it's definitely because of Hard Knocks. Only reason the country is cheering for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, the whole country. So it gives you some juice.
Dude, it's Ryan Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's Deshaun Jackson. It's Mike Evans. It's these guys. This is the story of the NFL right now, in my opinion. These guys are putting up 30, 40 points in the first 2 games each. And they look like they're the St. Louis Rams of the early 2000s. I mean, they are just flinging the ball all over the joint.
What is that team called again?
I believe they're called
Magic, something, the best on turf or something.
Oh, the greatest show on turf.
The greatest show on turf.
We could pay homage to Torrey Holt or Isaac Bruce if we'd
like. So I'm not a total noob, but this is the first time I played.
Kurt Warner, all these guys. They're Marshall Faulk. I mean, they had a couple good ball players in it.
Kurt Warner bagging groceries a year before, but he was
at some point.
I don't know.
That's a little overblown.
But you know what I mean.
He might have had a job.
He had a different job besides NFL quarterback, and then all of a sudden he won the Super Bowl. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, they blow that out of proportion. I mean, the guy like bagged groceries for 2 weeks and then got to go play arena football, and he was fine.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, the guy's got to win.
Yeah.
Kid's got to win.
I mean, look at your team. I mean, I think that a lot of your points can come from Tom Brady on Sunday Night Football.
I need Tom Brady.
Well, you're going to have a little bit of a...
I have a little quandary with the whole Golden Tate thing.
Well, you have a little quandary, too, just with Sunday Night Football and being a Lions fan.
That's true. No. I'll be honest. Not deep down at the end of the day, this guy, Michael Richard Robinson, will be cheering for the Lions to win. That's who I am.
What if you're 0-2? Not 1-1.
No,
So,
nothing changed there. You know that about me.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, you know that. You know that, Dave.
I mean, and
Anybody in the whole world knows that about me.
It's just such a. I think that's.
I get what you're saying.
I think that's actually the best part of this matchup right now is that Tim's starting at Stafford.
Oh, he's got 2 Detroit players, right?
And you're starting. He's got the kicker.
Oh yeah, 2.
That'll be the most dynamic part. It'll come down to Sunday Night Football, the 2 quarterbacks playing against each other. I mean, I do like Tim's end of that matchup, but I just think that Mike's just going to stack it up with Melvin Gordon, Saquon Barkley against. I mean, just looking at the running back matchup, Rex Burkhead is. I mean, the Patriots don't even playing Patriot running backs is frustrating.
I'm looking over the lines.
No, it's as frustrating as I don't know, rush hour traffic on a Friday when you just want to get home. I mean, it's more.
No, it's as frustrating as you already woke up 10 minutes late. Now you're at rush hour traffic going to work.
Yeah.
That's how frustrating.
And then a cop pulls you over.
Yeah, and then a cop pulls him over, he says.
No, yeah,
that's how frustrating it is.
So I'll go against the computer here. I will pick you to win this week. I just think that, and unfortunately for you, I think a lot of it's going to do with that. Well,
the running back matchup.
Well, and I think a lot of it's going to do it. I think Tom Brady's going to go off this week. The whole matchup of Bill Belichick against his protege over on the other side of the line, he's going to put it to him. And I don't think they're going to stop.
It's a lot easier for me to cheer for my team here on this very thing we're doing because the Lions have shown such...
Mike, I'll bet you, I would bet $50 right now that the Patriots will score at least 35 points on Sunday Night Football.
Oh, to be discussed later. 35?
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be bad.
I got to think about it.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We'll go with, do you have a prognostication for this matchup?
I'm gonna
win?
I'm going to destroy Tim just because I don't think Tim cares about winning.
So,
have a nice day. I'm sorry. I love you, Tim. I really do.
Mike in a wash.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little closer than that. I think that Mike pulls ahead on Sunday.
I care about winning.
We'll move over to the Breeze Knees. Jamie versus 4th and 20. Jordan and Jackson, we'll call it. We like Patrick Mahomes. We like Drew Brees. Quarterback matchup looks good. What do you think about this, then? I mean, are you aware of all the drama that's going on in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room? When we know that Le'Veon's gone, right?
But it's got to be great in some sort of drama.
But you also know that Antonio Brown, the number 1 wide receiver
in the league for 4 years now,
was
at least, I don't know,
legitimately cussing out his offensive coordinator
in front of everybody.
Oh yeah, on national TV last week.
I did not know that, David.
Yeah, on national TV last week. And you know what? He kind of got a little bit less love the rest of the game.
Offensive coordinator still calls the plays.
Yeah,
at least for this week.
And
is what probably he said.
And it benefited you with Juju. Juju Smith.
That's right. Juju Smith comes off for 24.6 points for me.
Now, Antonio still gets his love, and I still believe he's going to continue to get his love. But this charade that the Steelers are trying to pull off as if they are above all this drama, I think it's catching up to them. I am selling the Steelers right now. Selling the Steelers.
Sell it. If Dave says it, I'm going to go with it when it comes to football.
That's the low of her team. I love Keenan Allen for the Chargers. I love all LA Chargers. I think they're going to have a great season. I love her. Here's another player. I don't know if she drafted him. I doubt it. Tevin Coleman is now the starting running back for the Atlanta Falcons. And on a week in and week out basis until Devontae Freeman is back,
he's Jack.
He's going to be.
I love him.
Tevin Coleman on
Jack
a week.
Is awesome.
Week in and week out basis, Tevin Coleman is going to be projected to score 15 points at least. And she picked him off waivers. And or drafted him in like the 14th round.
It's got to be Jack doing the moves.
No, this is the Breeze Knees. This is Jamie's team.
Oh, Jamie. Jamie does her own work.
Yeah. Strong defense. I mean, just look at that number for that defense. Playing against the Buffalo Bills. The Minnesota Vikings defense is projected to score 14 fantasy points. The defense. That number is double.
It really is.
It's double what everybody else in the league is projected to score. That's what I'm saying. start players against the Bills. Over to Jack's team. I mean, this might be the matchup of the week because I like both these teams.
Who are we going to do?
No, we're still in the same one.
All right.
Over to Jack's team now, though. And we like Patrick Mahomes. He picks up, I don't know if he picks up or drafts Will Fuller. Definitely not somebody who was in the starting lineup earlier. Will Fuller is the number 2 receiver for the Houston Texans. Definitely the deep threat for that team. The Texans have the Giants this week, another poor team. That's the thing. He's playing the matchup here, I think. I can't imagine. Oh gosh. He's got the decision between playing either Will Fuller or Josh Gordon. He's the Josh Gordon owner. I think he's going the safe route here. I think he's more of a, in the
like you?
Yeah.
Me, I'd probably go risky.
Oh, you go Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
You go Josh Gordon and tell everybody he's going to score 57 fantasy points this week.
I'd go nuts. I would tell everybody. I would.
The computer has Jamie's team winning here by 129 to 118, which is just garbage. It's just too many points for both teams. Kareem Hunt, I like Jack's team. I'm going with Jack's team here. I guess in an upset.
Let me see.
I don't think it's an upset.
Kamara, I know about. Apparently, he's awesome. They're always going to run the ball. Oh, we're still counting on. No, you can't. Nothing. Now I'm going to go with Jamie's team.
So, we got a little disagreement there. All right,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens next week. Moving on to the next matchup, I think we got a wash here. I mean, we what should be a rout. What I would say.
Lick my Tate.
No, we're going up to Anthony's team versus Steven's team.
Oh, yeah, that should definitely be a rout.
This is Friday night, so Steven has gotten a little bonus that Jarvis Landry actually showed up and had a good football game. Scored 16.3 fantasy points last week, behind the strong arm of not Tyrod Taylor. Baker Mayfield comes in last night, and
no way.
Yeah, and lights up. The Jets.
I didn't watch the game.
Jets are up 14-0. Tyrod Taylor gets a concussion in the second quarter. Baker Mayfield proceeds to go like 16 for 20 for like 200 yards and just leads the team down the field a couple times. They end up winning 21-17. I think that the Baker hype of him coming into the game was a little overblown in the media. But the guy does come in and just get it done.
You gotta like that.
They win the game. He does bring a new dynamic.
Can't say what I want to say.
And I think that Tyrod Taylor, his days starting in Cleveland are done.
I mean, it doesn't look like he's the superstar that we thought he was.
Well, I never thought he was a superstar, but I still think he's a solid quarterback. But I just don't think. I don't know how the Browns. I think that
Baker's a winner.
But I think by putting him in the game and him winning the game,
Baker's a winner.
It's his job now. Like they can't.
Right.
They can't put anybody else in anymore. It's going to be Baker's team now, and that's just the way it is. And
it kind of seemed like that way. Even watching what's the show?
Hard Knocks.
Even watching Hard Knocks, I think we all got to see that the kids like Baker.
I mean, I'll go through
kids, by the way.
I'll go through Steven's team real quick. LaShawn McCoy, questionable, injury prone. He's old. Reports come out earlier today that.
That's my fan. You go on.
Reports come out earlier today that LaShawn's now got like women telling him that, reporting that he beats them up and stuff like that.
Who does?
LaShawn McCoy. So
he beats up women?
I mean,
allegedly.
But
normally if like 3 women say you can beat them up,
yeah,
at least one of them not bullshit.
I mean, I know in the NFL with their image problem right now, with the anthem stuff and with just the way that...
We can go into all that.
Oh, well,
no, we're not going into it, but it does matter. I mean, think about it. They're going through an image problem.
They're going to come down hard.
Shoot.
They're going to come down hard on all that stuff. I don't know if anything comes of it, but at the end of the day, LaShawn's still going to be old. He's only getting older. I watched the game last week for a little bit, and I mean, I think LaShawn only had like one explosive run that I saw, and that got turned back for a penalty because the Bills are so bad. Okay. So, I mean, it's Buffalo Bills. I'm going to take Anthony's team here in a rout.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't know how the computer says it's a 5-point game. I would lay 22 points and still take Anthony.
Go ahead. Next matchup. We're going to move on. And we've got Lick My Tate, Alex's team versus Derek's team. They're very close.
close in numbers. I don't hate either of these teams. This is definitely a matchup that could go either way. I see it as, one thing I like here, though, what did Alex do?
What?
Look at this. Now, this is a guy, this is just going to tie into the whole show. That Alex is starting Kirk Cousins playing against the Buffalo Bills over Carson Wentz. Even though
ingenious move.
Even though the computer says you should start Carson Wentz.
Sorry, folks.
Even though the computer says you should start Carson Wentz here, and it's not.
It's an ingenious move.
Yeah.
Just so the Bills suck that bad.
Yeah, he's going to start.
Even I see it.
But again,
I watch every game.
I think this is another top level player, like I think I am, that says I'm going to take the sure thing. I'm not going to take the rusty rookie coming into his first game. I'm going to play Kirk Cousins against a bad team.
He has Wentz?
Yeah, it's Wentz. And
I'm sorry, I didn't hear all that.
Yeah, it's Wentz and it's Kirk Cousins. He's got a decision to make at quarterback week in and week out now. And this week he's going to go with Kirk Cousins.
Anybody going against the
Buffalo Bills? That's who you. That's who you play.
Sorry, that's
who you play.
That's the advice we're giving.
That's who you play.
Yeah.
I think the crux of this game is going to come down to, can auto draft for the win, Derek's team, can he get some production out of Julio Jones and Odell this week? I mean, he needs it. I mean, that's where his bread is buttered. So I'm going to pick Alex's team to win.
In a close one.
With a caveat that if Odell and Julio combine for 47 fantasy points, Derek's team will win. But that's what he needs. He needs 47. Because that's what he's got going on.
Yeah, he needs that.
Other than that, he didn't have much going on. I mean, those are his top two guys. Other than that, not much. What do you got on this one?
All right, so I have to tend to agree with what you're saying here. I hate to. I wish I had some sort of opposing argument, but I think Dave's got it pegged here on this one.
We're going to go with Alex's.
Alex, in a win, I think it's looking at about 8 points.
Alex's Lick My Tay team comes up with a victory.
We'll
go to the final matchup of Week 3 in fantasy here. It's Shock and Awe, myself, going up against Matt's team, who last week on fantasy I declared I think that he has the most well-rounded, best roster in our league.
You guys are close.
Yeah, we're projected to be very close, and I do think this will be a very close game.
Because your guy didn't do good.
Yeah, well, we're already here on Friday, and then my tight end, David Njoku, hard knocks Cleveland Brown player, did not get involved in any of the love that Baker Mayfield was spreading out. Don't worry, folks, that'll be fixed next week.
We'll talk about it later. But that means what I thought when it comes to
it's already been fixed.
The love of the nation.
It's already been fixed. I've already traded away this guy. Got a new tight end coming in next week.
In that.
I talked to Kyle Rudolph on the phone, and he's excited to be part of
I like that.
The Shock and Awe squad.
He's excited to be a part of it.
Well, if you go, I don't want to brag a little, but I will a little bit.
Go ahead, brag.
If there's
What's wrong with bragging? I brag all the time.
There's a little option you can hit on manager stats.
I'm sorry, I keep fading out of the screen. By the way, anybody's paying attention.
On manager stats, you can click on it and you can look at my stats, and the stats don't lie. You want to know what?
It looked like you were only a +7 for manager stats. Oh, your boy Ridiculousness is +17. As a newbie, all I saw was, he must be making more moves.
No. This is the history of you ever playing in Yahoo Fantasy Football.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, no.
But still,
I'm a gold player. I don't know if we even have any other gold players. Pretty sure we don't. I'm the only one.
I'm going to listen to him. I hope you guys do too. I hope my opinion of how to get into it matters at least a little bit.
Well, I got Jordan Howard, AJ. I've got the one decision I have to make this week that I go with for the first time this season. I start Matt Ryan, quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons.
Surprised
over Andrew Luck. But I just think that's
surprised. Whatever.
But the Falcons are playing the Saints. The Saints.
You just score more points against the Saints, and they score more.
And they both,
it opens things up.
It's at home.
Am I wrong?
It's in the dome, yeah. And we're going to be throwing the ball over the football field. So I go with Matty Ice over him.
Consider that, folks.
I probably won't very many times this year, but I will this week. Jordan Howard, the Bears, are a lot better than anybody thought. They're more than happy to run the ball. I get Lamar.
Playing that tough nut 80s Bears.
They're kind of that way, but I mean, they have some plays.
Without, what's his name?
Like Ditka? Walter Payton?
Well, definitely without Payton or Ditka. What was the quarterback's name? He was kind of famous.
So McMahon?
McMahon. He was cool. I'm sorry. Anyways.
Do you know why Jim McMahon actually wore, like, he had that black face shield over his face?
Yeah.
Do you want to know why?
No, I don't know. I mean, yes, I do, but...
Anybody else know why?
Please.
5 seconds.
4.
3. 2. 1. So as a child, you know, like how you would, like, your shoelace would get tied, like, way too tight, and you couldn't get the knot out?
This happens to be still as an adult, but okay.
What?
So I get it sooner or later.
So
but.
Jim McMahon at 11 years old, he got his shoelace tied way too tight in his football spikes, right?
He got his shoelace tied way too tight in his football spikes, right?
At home, and he can't get his shoe off, right? He can't get the knot untied. So he goes and grabs a fork out of the family drawer, right? Takes a fork to try to get it out of there, right? Trying to get out of there. And BAM! Stabs himself in the eye with a fork. And from that day forward, when he was 11 years old, he had like this terrible, like, sensitive eyes to light.
And he just happened to grow to 6'4", 225 pounds.
And so that's why he's always had the. That's why Jimmy McMahon always had the black shield. Always wears sunglasses. Could be fucking inside the boardroom. Jimmy Mack wearing sunglasses.
Hey, there's our little history lesson.
It's what happened. Obviously, I'm going to go with myself because I don't like to lose.
Let me see. I'm the only one who can fairly evaluate, but I have to ask you about players I don't know.
Sure. All right.
Tell me about Jay Howard.
Jordan Howard, running back. Chicago Bears. Just talking about him.
Okay. Tell me about C. Thompson. Washington.
Oh, Chris Thompson?
Chris Thompson, okay.
Well, I mean, the reason that I don't like him starting Chris Thompson, not that I want him to change his mind all of a sudden, is that he's the second string running back. You know who the first
You can change your mind?
Well, he could change his mind. It's only Friday. It's not Sunday yet.
Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a news announcement. I thought after Thursday we had no say.
No, he could start somebody else.
So we can change. We actually can make changes.
I mean, he could start Deion Lewis.
I thought Thursday was.
He's got Chris Thompson started as running. Yeah, he could start Deion Lewis. That's about it for him. But no, Chris Thompson's not the starter. You know who is the starter?
Who?
Adrian Peterson.
I like Adrian Peterson.
Who happens to be on my bench. So if I'm benching the starter, I don't think Chris Thompson should be a starter. Unless your team's, not what you want it to be.
I don't think Russell's going to do good against Dallas. So I will actually go with your team on this one.
All right. Tight game. I think actually it's going to be kind of low scoring.
Not even like,
but
it's not even. What do you call it when you want somebody to do good? It's not one of those. It just I looked at it.
Cheering for somebody.
Yeah, I'm not cheering for you. It looks like it's going to go your way.
No. I mean, getting to 3-0 at this point in the season would be huge. I mean, you get to 3-0. I mean, you're really looking at, you're only having to go probably 3-6 the rest of the way to even make the playoffs, and that's really the goal here. It's just, honestly, to all the noobs, just get out there and make the playoffs, and then you get a shot at all the money at the end of the season. Mike, what do you say we thank some sponsors real quick?
All right, let's do it.
All right, cool. Obviously, this is Clubhouse Weekly. So our main sponsor is
Clubhouse BFD.
Yes,
and we'd like to thank you guys. I think we provide a very great service there, and anybody who sees this video, you should come by.
2265 Crooks.
2265 Crooks.
New things going on every day. Big bike ride tomorrow morning. You're gonna get up in about 7 hours and
do it. I mean, we got a wide selection of beer and greatly executed food that you'll enjoy.
Yeah,
and I think you'll have a great time there.
Oh, we love it. You know what? Why don't we kick back to an old sponsor I used to thank back in the old days for this guy.
One for this guy?
Yeah. I'm going to thank Sweet Nuts Buffet.
That's the reason of my name, Sweet Nuts. Many doesn't get it. I don't think I'm Swedish because I'm not. This guy up here, that's our grandfather. He owned a few buffets. Let's go ahead and say a few.
Yeah, 31. But
Yeah, 31. But and he's our hero. There's no doubt. I don't have any injustice to say that. If you can have meant a lot to both of them.
Absolutely. Go back to Sweet Nescafe, where the extras don't cost extra.
That's right.
Let's see here. Griffin Club Brewing Company.
Griffin Club Brewing Company. Very important.
Very
Drink their beer. Great beer.
Yeah. Even if you don't like it, drink it. It'll make us more money.
It's true.
And one more
It
shout
ain't
out.
going to go out to many people. So.
One more shout out to my co-host, Anthony Johnson. Sorry, buddy. Didn't tell you we were going to do this, but we had to do it.
Anthony,
had to get it done.
It's your job, not mine. I ain't even that good at it. But you inspired me last week with what you said. And I'm on board. I check my fantasy app about 4 times a day, so you did your job.
All right, folks, that's the end of the night. I'm David Robinson.
I'm Michael Robinson.
Have a good night, and keep on grinding. Get down the waiver wire, man.
Get on the waiver wire.
Get out there and pick
He's
up
right.
somebody, man. There's so
He's
many players.
All right, guys.
Good night.